Hey, there's TalkToMe. Right, and made the screen bigger. It seems to be adjusting strangely with the lighting. It's not the best equipment in the world, undeniably, but hopefully it'll be sufficient. I think they actually put the camera into the laptop, at least a few. I noticed that in many of my previous videos, it can be difficult to tell what I'm saying, so I'm trying to enunciate better. I want you to be able to hear me and know what I'm actually talking about. That's very important. So maybe if I lean in far enough, it will help. If my head looks lopsided though, it's because of the camera. I'm sitting up straight, really I am. So all of you know, I am in fact female, in case any of you are confused. But I can relate to guys. As a tomboy, I have much more male influence in my life than I have female influence. But I can relate to both males and females very well. And just because you're different from me, it doesn't mean that I can't communicate with you, that I can't help you in some way. For example, I'm white, and in these videos, I look incredibly white. However, I'm actually a good part Native American. I don't show it except in the high cheekbones and some other features you absolutely cannot make up in this video at all. And I have other heritages. Most of them are Caucasian, but just because I am considered part of the minority, it doesn't mean that I can't relate to a majority. It doesn't mean that I can't relate to a minority. I'm very understanding of people. Perhaps you grew up in a different family. Perhaps you grew up in a wealthy household, and you don't think that I can relate to you because I grew up in a poor household. That's not true. I will be able to relate to you. I think I know what's causing the TalkToMe. It might be the echo in the room. So if I talk more like this, it might go through better. I don't know. But I want the microphone to be able to pick up my voice because while I'm talking about it. Yeah, I think that my couch sound is actually my voice echoing in the room. So maybe if I lower my tone a bit, it won't sound too bad. If I speak slower, perhaps you'll be able to understand me a little better. I can't turn the microphone up any louder. Hopefully you can still hear what I'm saying and make it out. I'm leaning in as much as possible. By getting closer, I will be touching my screen. I can relate to you. I can understand things even that I haven't experienced, and I can comprehend things very well. I've had 10 years of solitude and isolation and in an online environment to communicate with people throughout the world and to contemplate situations I personally have never experienced. I understand things very well. I understand that wealthy people can have many terrible troubles just as poor people can. I understand that suicide is not just something among certain classes or certain races. I understand that it is something, depression and troubles are something every world experiences. And I'm not going to judge you or put you down just because you're different from me. I know there will probably be times when I'm communicating with people that I don't share their views. I understand that it's highly likely to happen. But I'm not going to hold it against people. I want to educate. Many people mix up the term argument and discussion. There's a difference. An argument is when you're going out of your way to put someone down, to humiliate, to degrade, to attack them. You're deliberately, willfully trying to attack them. Sometimes discussions can get heated, and it's called a heated debate, but it is very different from an argument. I will discuss with you openly and honestly about whatever it is you want to talk about. If it's religion, if it's depression or suicide, eating habits, social issues, friendship, romance, love, marriage, culture, society, anything. Whatever it is you want to talk about, I will discuss it with you genuinely and openly as an understanding and highly comprehending human being. And I'm not going to put you down for it. And I don't want you to assume that I can't relate. People say, "Oh, you don't understand me." Teenagers say that a lot to their parents, and their parents were once teenagers. It's something to consider more expansively, and I have a decade of isolated experience in focusing and understanding other individuals and expanding my horizons and exploring human beings, their potentials, and what makes them different and unique. So don't assume that I can't understand. Don't assume that I can't comprehend. Communicate with me. Don't just say, be descriptive. My mother, for example, she's not descriptive. She's very not descriptive. I'll ask her if she's in pain. She'll say, yeah, and I'll say, where is it? What kind of pain? And she'll say, my knee. And I ask her if it's sharp. She's like, yeah. She doesn't really explain herself very well. And I have no idea why the lighting in this video seems to change. I changed some more settings a bit, but I have no idea if it's bigger because I'm so close to the camera. But you need to explain yourself. You don't need to justify yourself. There's a difference. But you do need to communicate. You need to actually share what's going on and not just give some brief, I had a bad day. Well, what made that day bad? What was it about that day that made it bad? Because it wasn't the day. It wasn't the fact that the sun came up that made you have a bad experience. It is what happened and why it happened. Like I say, some kids are picking on me. Well, what were they saying and what started it? Just because I ask questions like this, it doesn't mean I'm accusing you. It doesn't mean I'm trying to say, you started it. No. It's important to understand what led up to the event that is troubling you. It's important to understand what other factors were involved, what individuals were involved. One person may say that you're mean, and they mean it teasingly. And another person may say that you're mean and they mean it genuinely, and you don't understand why or what the difference is. It's important to give detail. It's important to know who's saying it and why they as an individual are saying it. Now, I made this video larger. It's 288. It's 352 by 288. And that seems to have problems. I'm going to shrink it again, like the other video, because I think it works out better. Maybe to start out, I will give videos on advice on how to talk to other people. There are many things to consider. How to talk and how to share, and that's important. I should help all of you to understand how to talk to me, how to talk to one another, how to communicate to begin with, because while many of us, have been studying English all of our lives, or most of our lives, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're all good at communicating. Communication and language, while they go together, are separate things. You can communicate without even being able to speak. You can communicate through things that you write. You can communicate through song, sound, bodily gestures, so many different things that videos allow for. And yet, they still limit it. You can't see my hand gestures. You can see my face. You can see that I have a lip. You can see my teeth and my eye movement. But they're distorted a bit because I'm constantly looking down at the image to see how it's progressing instead of staring straight at the camera. It's very difficult to stare at the camera, and I'm trying to. Honestly, I'm trying to. It's hard to communicate with people, even in person. Through an online situation, it can be more difficult, and yet that allows one to branch out and have access to what they otherwise would not have in person. I don't have a psychiatrist at this time. I often didn't have any help or anyone to talk to in person. Many of the times I communicated with people on forums or over the internet by some means, and that helps. But I should help all of you to understand how to communicate, and that will better your lives not only in talking to me, but in talking to others. So there's probably going to be quite a few educational videos as well as help videos. But that is a kind of help. It's important to be able to communicate, to get your point across, and to understand all the variables you otherwise may not consider. So, give me examples, give me stories of your life, give me situations, and give me all the details. Even the little things you probably might not notice. And I'll see what I can do. Thank you, and goodbye.